Hi, Max Brantley with the Arkansas Times on Friday, July the 14th. Well, the continuing debate of the day is, will Congress be able to pass a bill that changes the Affordable Care Act? Will Republicans, in short, be able to wreck Obamacare? They hope they can. Does the Senate have enough votes? That question is not yet answered. The new bill, it seems clear from all the reports that are coming in, is every bit as bad, maybe worse in some respects, than the past two pieces of legislation that have been considered. There is a little bit of a reduction in the tax cut provided for wealthy people, but it still contains some great sops to rich people. It would still cut the amount of Medicaid services provided to the people of America. A provision put in there to help insurance companies seems likely to spell the end of pre-existing coverage for a lot of people, and that was one thing the Republicans said they'd preserve at all costs. This legislation does not do that. Still, Tom Cotton and John Bozeman have nothing to say. Asa Hutchinson, the governor of Arkansas, seems to be letting on that this bill would not be good for Arkansas. Of course it wouldn't. Be devastating to Arkansas. Can that have any effect on how our senators vote? We don't yet know. Big news came in a filing in federal court last night about 10:30 p.m. It was a request for a delay in a trial scheduled next week in a lawsuit that alleges racial discrimination in building facilities in Little Rock School District. The big news is that it appears that the Little Rock School Board, that is Johnny Key, the state education commissioner who runs the district, the Pulaski County School District, and the Joshua interveners, John Walker and the people who represent interests of black families in Pulaski County, have come to a meeting of the minds. They may have a way to end school desegregation litigation for all time in Pulaski County, and they say this likely would mean a change of boundaries of the school districts. What it would likely mean, if it came to that, would be a school district south of the Arkansas River and a school district north of the Arkansas River for Pulaski County. North Little Rock and Jacksonville would be exempt from this, of course. This could spell the end to a lot of troubles. It could mean return of local control to the Little Rock School District. It would be a new school district, a bigger school district. There's a new high school under construction in the Pulaski County part of the district out in West Little Rock that would meet a demand in the Little Rock School District that has caused some controversy. The first word is whether the judge will allow a delay in next week's trial. They expect him to do so, but he hasn't done so as I record this. Other news in Pulaski County today, the county assessor's office has completed a reappraisal of property in the county, some 200,000 parcels. The new tax bills are going out right now. About half the parcels in the county have experienced increases in value, but about half have dropped. Don't yet have the final word on what this will mean in overall tax assessments. You get a chance to appeal if you're one of the ones whose property's gone up a great deal in value and you disagree with that. Late yesterday, a federal judge, Christine Baker, completed a hearing on a challenge of 4 new laws in Arkansas that are aimed at making abortion almost impossible to obtain in Arkansas. The state is arguing they have interest in the fetus and interest in safe medical practices. All that's really dishonest. What they really are trying to do is put up impenetrable roadblocks to abortion. I think that case was made pretty clearly yesterday by the ACLU attorney arguing before the judge. The judge wants to hear more arguments before reaching a final decision on whether she'll enjoin these laws. Several of these laws have been struck down in other states. There's almost no chance that some of these won't go when the judge finally reaches her decision. They are unconstitutional. The notion that a woman must seek approval from somebody else on how to dispose of fetal remains, including a person who raped her or a family member who raped her, is really unbelievable. If that gives you some idea of how much women's interests are being considered by the Arkansas legislature when they pass legislation, they are not. They're worshiping the fetus primarily. Story out of Jonesboro is that a man bought some items left in a storage unit put up for auction. He found out they were books that Damien Eccles had read in prison, also included some journals Eccles kept. He hopes to make some money off selling these, the story says. There's something slightly creepy about this, I think. There doesn't seem to be any indication those journals talked about much more than the difficulties of prison life, nothing about the famous West Memphis 3 case in which Eccles was convicted and sent to death row, but finally released from prison after a worldwide controversy over the appearance that he had been wrongly convicted along with 2 other people. A nice story out of Northwest Arkansas today from the New York Times. A family from the Democratic Republic of Congo has been given asylum in Fayetteville and helped to resettle by a refugee resettlement organization. They fled murderous rebels in Congo, lived a terrible life. They're now living in an apartment in Fayetteville with a flush toilet, the first time they've ever experienced one, if you can imagine that. This is a family that barely got into the country before Trump's travel ban took effect on people who had no close relations when they tried to enter the country. Some people don't want them here. I posted an article about this and somebody said, oh, this is just to help feed low-paid jobs in the poultry industry. Well, no, it just might be about humanity. Imagine that would guide American thinking, the country of the lamp beside the golden door. Finally, here's a little piece of potential good news. Central Arkansas Water, the water utility in Little Rock, has always been very protective of Lake Maumelle, the beautiful lake that's its major water supply west of Little Rock. They'll let you fish in it, but they won't let you swim in it, for example. They want to protect that water the best they can. Well, they're about to embark on a one-year pilot project to see if maybe they'll allow mountain biking on trails around the lake and see if that would have caused any sediment that affects the water supply badly. If not, maybe they'll allow a little recreation in the watershed. It's a beautiful place out there. You can walk through there now on the Ouachita Trail, and it's a great experience. I've done it. I'm still resisting. We got a weekend ahead of us. There'll be more outrages to come. Can we agree the Russians are not our friends at a minimum? I'm Max Brantley. I'll be back tomorrow.